I don't hear it.
There's potentially a monster in the room with us.
There's a beetle in here. We don't know how. Well, like, the dog likes to lay outside, so we just leave the slider open for her. And at some point today, a beetle got in the house, and it's in here now. We don't know where. So, sorry in advance, but there's a lot of this in a little while.
Hilarity ensues. Spoiler show.
Yes.
Don't watch this if you hadn't watched the show.
We're gonna spoil it pretty immediately, I feel like. Yeah?
Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
This is So I'm watching The Last of Us, Season 2, Episode 2.
Through the Valley.
Do we have a name?
We have a name.
It's
it wasn't
funny.
on HBO,
No.
but this time it was on IMDb, which is crazy.
Because we sat down and Kristen was like, God, there's not a name. That's like annoying. Just give us the name. And I, very confident in the fact that I was joking, said, The Last of Us, Episode 2, Joel dies in this one. I genuinely thought I was joking. And Will looked at me and was like, huh. And we were so well into the episode.
Yeah.
By the time I was like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Like, I was not worried at all.
No, like, the golf club was through his neck, and you were like, seriously?
We've seen him come back from so much.
That's true. I mean, yeah, but not this. I've known about this since before even season 1, because Will played the video games and he told me about what happens. So,
yeah, no idea.
You want to like run through the episode first?
Sure.
Okay. So there's like a storm coming. Honey, you got a big storm coming. There's a big storm, but like Ellie's going on patrol with Jesse. Dina,
I love him.
He's great. Dina's already out with Joel.
He's so... It's a word you use a lot. He's so appealing.
He's very appealing.
He's very handsome, but
Yeah.
he does have a slightly off-kilter
There's just like also just like a boyish charm as well.
But he's also a full man.
He's a man. He's a man for sure.
I don't know what it is.
It's so comical, him and Ellie being in scenes together, because Bella is so short and this guy's really tall.
Well, and even just in this episode, it was such a necessary a moment of character development for him.
Yeah.
And moment of levity for the show, because why are we watching these shows if we're not at least enjoying ourselves?
Yeah.
And he goes to pick up Ellie after the New Year's dance, and she lets it slip that Dina kissed her.
Well, because he's like, I heard about what happened last night, and she's like, she kissed me, and he's like, I didn't hear about that, and she's like, and he's like, I'm totally fucking with you, don't worry about it.
He was like, man, you really didn't wait.
Yeah.
Also, not for nothing, I really liked Ellie's kind of like flat iron.
Yeah.
Her like straight hair.
Yeah. Well, it's just always back in like a ponytail or a bun, so it's nice to have it like.
I know Bella is non-binary.
Yeah, but Ellie is female.
Well, and both of they are, and Ellie is capable of being very pretty in a way that we don't see frequently because the character is such a tomboy. So I do like moments when she has like...
You know what I would love to see from Bella is like that moment that we had for like 6 months with Billie Eilish, where Billie Eilish went like full Hollywood glam.
Just pussy glam.
Just like literally one press cycle. Let's just do it for one press cycle and see. Go back to the tomboy clothes. I love that. I love it on the red carpet. I love the aesthetic, but I just would like, let's just try one. Like,
let's see what
let's
it's
try
like.
one press cycle.
Or just do like a period film, like a girl with the pearl earring type.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the Lena Dunham movie. Catherine called Birdie.
Okay.
Yeah, that was Bella.
So...
Anyway, so they go out on a watch, or like a, what do you want to call that?
Promenade.
Yeah.
Parole.
So they're out doing that.
Leisurely stroll.
Yeah. It's just like, I guess, a perimeter check kind of thing. Because, that's what they were talking about. Like, there's potentially a bunch of, like, underground
Yeah,
ones.
I wasn't getting that. And I'm glad that we got to it in this episode because the funny thing is like the way they were describing it, I'm like, well, that sounds preposterous, so I must be misunderstanding something.
No, that's
and then it was exactly what it sounded like. I guess like a cluster of infected were using other dead bodies as insulation, and they were just in this weird underground colony hive, disgusting thing.
Super gross.
And they were waiting?
Well, it's like hibernation.
Vibing?
It's like hibernation. Yeah. So it's like because it's too cold for them to like really operate, there's like a lot going on. And so
many though.
So
like,
many.
How did they all get up there?
They
I guess
probably
gradually
just,
over
like,
time because we'd been watching it.
Yeah.
At least in the first episode.
Yeah, because Tommy did say that they were getting like more and more.
Mm-hmm.
So they're out kind of looking for that. And then also at the same time, Joel and Dina have already left and they're on like a different course or whatever. At the copper mine is what they said. It turns out the storm gets too bad, even though it wasn't supposed to. And so Jesse and Ellie hole up in Eugene's grow house, which was funny to me that we brought that back even an episode later.
There was weed in the first episode because Joel paid.
But it wasn't as good.
Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah, I don't remember her name already.
But I was wondering, is that part of Jackson Hole or is he getting it from?
I don't know where he got it from, but she specifically made a comment that it wasn't as good as Eugene's. So.
I would see if they could get Eugene's up and running again.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing too, is like the way they talked in this episode, it also seemed like Eugene had been bitten. So I'm like pretty confident that he was bitten and Joel had to. So I like.
He's also like at least 70.
Yeah, because he was in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, and then it turns out he was also a Firefly, and it looked like a pretty early one because he only had like a number 314 on his like tag. I got kind of a bone to pick with the Firefly situation in a minute once we get there. Because that means at some point there was 314. At least, like minimum.
I mean, we're dealing with zombies.
I'm aware of that. They were a countrywide organization. Regardless, in the meantime, we've got Abby and her crew up in this really nice ski lodge, actually, like really nice.
That's my issue with Abby is the I feel like we're not there yet.
Okay, so they're up there and she's talking about the like plan. But they didn't realize that Jackson Hole was so established. They thought it was going to be like a tent city, but they've got electricity, they've got fences, they've got perimeters, they've got dogs, they've got watchtowers, they've got all of this stuff. And so the rest of them are very like, Abby, what the fuck? Like, how are we going to do this? And she's like, well, I'm going to go out there and look around and figure it out. And the one guy, Owen, he was like...
He's got dragons to train.
Okay.
He's been away from Toothless for so long.
Does look like him. He does look like him. So he goes,
this bitch is exhausting.
So he's like, I'm coming up with a plan. And so Abby goes out to like scout around, and the rest of them are like, what's your plan, dude? It better be a good one. And he's like, my plan is to convince her to go back because like this, we can't do this. She also keeps saying like, we won't hurt anybody except for Joel. Whatever. I don't believe her at all.
Although
I don't really believe her.
But she didn't hurt anybody.
Well, that's true. She didn't. But Danny Ramirez hauled off and...
Yeah, I didn't like him either.
Kicked Ellie right in the gut, which sucked.
Sorry, I keep...
No, I know.
I want you to recap it, and then I keep derailing you.
Okay, so while that's happening, she basically falls down the mountain. She's going okay for a minute, but then she, like, really... It's too steep. And she falls down the mountain into this gully where all the infected are in this weird... cordyceps orgy, keeping the heat underneath. They also...
Orgy.
Cordis orgy.
There you go.
And so she, because her being there sort of like alerts them, she wakes them all up. There are hundreds of them. So many. She's running. She finds the copper mine, and it's really, really well done. I'm not going to do it justice, but it's like she gets through part of it, and then she's at a fence, but then they're like at the fence, and some of them are not like developed enough into clicker so they can also still see, so they are pushing the fence over, and it's like just this really tight like thing that she has to get through. I mean, very well done. And then she finally gets inside the mine, and that's where she finds
Joel rescues her.
Joel finds her
because she was about to be
eaten.
And so I've been I've been pretty sure I understood where we were going with this season and this Abby plot. I've seen Kill Bill. I understand how vengeance works. And there was a moment where he saves her and is like helping him and Dina, and she sees him with Dina, and they're helping her get back to the lodge, where I thought, fascinating. So she's going to then...
Nope.
She's going to then get to see him from another perspective and get to see him from a place of saving her, and that's going to change. And I'm like, and surely in like 5 episodes, someone's going to say the wrong thing, or there's going to be some moment we're going to have a "you killed my father, prepare to die" moment.
Of course.
But I really thought that it was going to unfold more gradually.
No.
And the second they get back to this lodge, and I don't know, her friends kind of pissed me off because they felt
didn't
like
do anything.
No. And
well, okay, so I don't think
there was like a ranking. Each one like was less committed than the previous, or more committed than the previous. So they're on my shit list in varying degrees.
So outside of Abby, the one that's
the two
on
girls.
My biggest shit list is Manny, Danny Ramirez. Owen, I think, is just kind of like going along to get along, and I do think he might be romantically involved with Abby.
He's an enabler,
and kind of an enabler. If they are not romantically involved, I don't know any better. I have not played the video game.
I mean, I think he carries the torch.
At least.
I get that vibe.
So, but like Mel and Nora are the girls. I kind of am like...
I have loyalty to Nora because it's Taddy Gabrielle. Yeah. So I already like her from previous projects.
And I have similar loyalty to Mel because she was in The Runaways and I really liked Gert.
You may not be able to answer this, but are we going to get more of them?
Well, I don't know, like firsthand,
Possibly.
The way that Will said it is if we see Abby again before the finale, it would be weird.
Okay.
So I don't know specifically.
But without saying, I guess, mild spoilers, that we could see these characters again?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so, Joel rescues Abby and they take him and Dina up to the lodge, and then she immediately switches on a dime and takes Dina one of them has Dina at gunpoint. It must be Manny. Has him at gunpoint, or has her at gunpoint. And then she shoots Joel in the knee. And I think
it was actually really cool.
It was very cool. Okay. Here's the thing.
It was shot well.
It was really, really shot well. And I want to give this show so many props against The Walking Dead. This is not the first time I've seen a beloved character bludgeoned to death. But very thankfully, I didn't actually have to witness the bludgeoning. You know, it was like shot very around her hitting him. So she goes on this whole speech and she's just like, "You killed my dad," and he was
in the game, you push the buttons.
Do you?
Yeah, you play as Abby.
Joel's dead. Ellie's gonna kill Abby now. I can't believe you did that. Scared the shit out of me.
I watched him coming, so it didn't scare me.
Yeah. Sorry.
Leave this all in. Jesus Christ.
We're gonna be hemorrhaging subscribers.
Where even was I?
That we didn't have to watch a bludgeoning. And he was saying in the game, you're pressing the buttons, making it happen.
Making Abby kill John. I'm just going to record the rest like this. No, so that was good. That was what I was saying, is she was going on the whole speech about how he killed her dad and he was the doctor and, you know, all this stuff. The nurses said you did it without even blinking, like blah, blah, blah. And then you just walked out. And I'm like, I feel like the nurses left out a very key piece of information, which is that there was a girl on the table killing me.
We also had like a flashback or maybe like a dream sequence where Abby has a twin.
It was a dream. It was definitely a dream.
I took it to be theatrics, but you can't rule anything out.
I believe it was a dream. Basically, she was looking at her. She was about to go into the room where her father was, and a dream Abby was like, "Don't go in there. You don't want to see it. His brains are on the floor." That's the other thing to me is like, this is not an eye for an eye. Your father died immediately. He didn't even know he was dead. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And she tortured Joel for what felt like a long time.
Mhm.
Because they knocked Dina out for an hour.
They said Dina, yeah.
Yeah. And she didn't come around until Jesse and Ellie and Dina were leaving, but still, at least 30 minutes. She was just like wailing on him. And then basically Jesse and Ellie had split up because they heard the call from Jackson Hole that they were having problems.
We hadn't gotten to that point, but Jackson Hole is being
besieged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really cool. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I am shocked that it is okay.
Yep.
And both Tommy and Maria are okay.
Yep.
Because I didn't realize I was as connected with them as I was.
Well, we love Rutina Wesley, no matter what our True Blood coverage seems to imply. I love Rutina Wesley as an actress. I think Tara was...
We think Tara, especially after season 1, we think that the writers didn't really know what to do with her. And so her material we found to be
repetitive.
Like increasingly doing her a disservice.
Yeah.
But I to go back to your Walking Dead dig, I just am so marveled at what these people in this world, this fictional world, have managed to create with Jackson Hole.
Yeah.
And it's precious. It's like the giraffes. Because remember, the giraffes made me cry?
Yeah.
And I want it to be protected. And I get very tired and sad and jaded watching beautiful, admirable things be destroyed.
Yeah.
And I just assumed that's what we were doing. So I was really shocked when they
pulled through.
Yeah. Not only did they handle the siege, but Tommy and Maria both made it out. Because the second they kissed, because they made some comment about her earlier on, and I was like, I don't know, she partially seems kind of like a pain in the ass. Like, she seems really very...
But she seems to be the literal fabric with which this community is
like
held
she's
together.
the only person holding this place together. I don't know if it can survive without her.
Because she made Seth apologize to Ellie.
And seemingly he meant it.
He did seem to mean it. Will insists that in the game he does mean it. It's sincere. He made them steak sandwiches, which also is apparently game accurate. I do love that kind of stuff.
As people who haven't played the game, the amount of times Will is like, that's in the game.
That's in the game. But it's also silly shit, which is like my favorite. It's my favorite.
When little details like that. It just it shows that the creators care.
Well, and Neil Druckmann is so heavily involved in this. And I know you still haven't watched it, but Craig Mazin did Chernobyl, and Chernobyl is fantastic.
But and that was another thing where it's like, just this whole episode was filmed so well. It was giving me, and this is complimentary, not derogatory, but it was giving me like early seasons Game of Thrones. And like I could tell that this season has had the budget increase, and I could also see the siege.
Oh
which was
my
nice.
God. No kidding. It was really cool though. They've got like gasoline or oil barrels that they go down and then they shoot holes into them and then they light them on fire to burn them, the infected. Really cool. That was awesome. There was a bloater again in this one, and he went after Tommy, and Tommy basically just burned him until his tank went out, and it was enough. I was very concerned it wasn't going to be enough, but it
Round
was.
of applause for the fleet of good boys.
The doggies. So Rachel was like, because we paused because of the beetle, and so Rachel was a little bit ahead of us, and she was like, not the doggies, and I was like, oh God, what about
I can't imagine watching this episode with Rachel. I feel like
so stressed. No, she was.
I feel like Abby.
It's like
dude, fuck Abby, I hope she's torn apart. Garbage, all of them. It's like Rachel was in the room.
It's like she's here. It was very funny. But I'd also, the Game of Thrones thing, I was like, this feels like a Game of Thrones episode.
Like season 3.
Yeah, absolutely. I would even give it season 6, the Battle of the Bastards
I love
episode.
season 6, yeah. I caution going too late, and even though it's literally like the last 3 episodes are really the only ones that shit the bed.
Season 5 is bad, and then the last 3 episodes are bad, and the rest of it's pretty good.
Because even I told you, you guys, if you like watching reactions, watch Brad Evans, watch Game of Thrones.
God,
it's so good. But he gets all the way up to the final episode, and he's like, I mean, I get some of your criticisms, but I don't see how this episode can be that bad. And then it like smash cuts to the end, and he's like, And we were all there.
Oh, yeah. I've never seen a show lose so much goodwill in the very home run, or whatever.
Well, I wanted to make sure that we talked about the siege. And yeah, it was good. I liked it. And the fact that, I mean, yes, we lost Joel, but I was kind of impressed that Jackson made it and that the sun will rise, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Gotta have hope.
I will say too, I think, okay, I'm going to say a couple more things about the lodge, Joel's death scene, because Ellie does get there just before he actually dies. She breaks in. She puts up a decent fight. She cuts Manny, which I loved. Cut him more.
I wish he might not have died had she approached it with a little bit more.
No, he was going to die. Joel?
Yeah.
No. Abby was going to kill him no matter what.
No, I know, but Ellie's barged in there. Like, I feel like she could have.
I mean, sure, fine. Maybe.
Yeah.
But it's 5 against one tiny Bella. So anyway, she gets there and then they hold her down while Abby has broken a golf club on him, by the way. And then Owen is like, you have to end it. This is ridiculous. And so she stabs him in the neck with the end of the golf club. It felt like too much to me. And then they just leave.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely insane. I'm going to say it here because I said it out there, and we can have this footage to pull if it turns out that I end up changing my mind. I already said it last week. I could not keep up this revenge boner for 5 years. In addition to that, I would not be able to have tortured a man who was not fighting back. She also said that was against
her code.
The code that they were taught in this militia, because the Fireflies are apparently over now because Joel killed all of them.
Well, and the rest just sort of disbanded.
Was that the implication?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess. So she's this WLF thing now. Just put an O in there and make it spell wolf. It's already your logo. I was a little annoyed by that. Sort of stupid.
Find an O word and just shoehorn it in there.
Throw it in there. So they are part of some sort of militia now, and one of the rules is that you're not allowed to kill people that can't defend themselves. That's a different bug.
Mm-hmm. Are we at the beginning of a contagion?
No.
Of a new type of...
You saw it here first. So yeah, Ellie is like, I'm gonna kill you, and then they just leave. So my second issue, and Will assures me that that's the whole point of the second game. There is, at this point in the story, no context they could give Abby that would justify that torture. Like, none at all, to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's so far beyond what happened to her father that it's just... I can't even fathom what she would think would justify that. So, unless someone has lied to her.
Mm-hmm.
But even still, then what about a conversation?
My issue is I can understand being that angry.
Not 5 years later.
I've been that angry before. Yeah. Hell, I'm that angry right now.
Of course.
Within certain facets. I can't... Once you're staring at the majesty that is Jackson Hole, I can't understand how...
Not wanting to just be a part of that.
Yeah, how you're forced for the trees, like, humanity... And I guess this is where it piggybacks off of Joel shooting the doctors and taking Ellie, where he made a very selfish decision.
It was emotionally motivated.
Yeah, but it's like like I said, the trolley problem. I mean, he was like, no, I'm going to take the one person I care about and screw all the rest. So I guess in that sense, it is similar to what he did. But I think his was more immediate and more...
It was a crime of passion.
Yeah, where the ways that she keeps choosing the vengeance.
He did a lot of second-degree murder, and she did first-degree murder with malice aforethought, like very premeditated.
There's just so many places that I would have lost my rage boner.
Totally.
And
have you, even if she's not already in a relationship with the Owen guy, it's like, have you seen this tall drink of water that is, like, apparently loyal to you? You don't, just go stay in Seattle.
And
And
so I'm
that's
like,
where they're going back.
Yeah,
but
so you're happy now?
yeah,
Okay.
I
I
don't
don't know. Couldn't.
I don't get it. And
We'll
that's-
see. Like, yeah, but pull this
Yeah.
footage, timestamp it right now.
Definitely
We'll see how we
do.
feel in a few episodes. But...
I am willing to be wrong. If Will's right, we won't do that till season 3.
Mhm.
But regardless, yeah, I don't know. So then, Jesse, Dina, and Ellie are going back to Jackson Hole, and they're carrying Joel's body behind. They blessedly wrapped it up, and they weren't just dragging it. But
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know. Also, I feel like they left a horse.
Well, they were.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, we'll see.
It was good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. I'm curious to see where the show's going.
Yeah. It was a really, really, really good episode. I felt sick most of it, just because I was stressed about Jackson Hole, and
I was just in such denial.
was stressed about Joel.
Like 3 ways over.
Yeah,
Because I was certain Jackson Hole was gone.
gone.
So
But
I
you
just
were-
wasn't even.
But you were also certain that Joel was alive.
The hubris of the.
Yeah.
I don't know. So. Okay, well, we'll be back next week. It might be Will. I'm not sure if I'm going to be here next week, but
Okay.
I will be back at some point.
Yes.
We will be back to continue covering the show.
Yep.
So, like and subscribe, and pew pew pew.
Bye.